Welcome back to Metroid Fusion. I am your host, Alex, also known as Solinus Dracon. With me, as usual, Rambler81. Hi, Rambler.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Like that. You kind of muted for a second there.
Did I? Well, I do apologize for that. So, we are still using Discord. This is one recording session. I sure hope the videos come out okay, because I am not editing them again. Oh yeah, ladders are a thing in this game that never were before. That's another cool thing. You act a little bit more with the environment than you used to. It's a little bit more of a puzzle game than it used to be, isn't it?
Yeah. I do like the detail that they add like stairs and ladders in these like common quarter sections.
Yeah.
It seems like a human could navigate these areas.
Exactly. That is.
Aside from using guns to, activate machinery and such, but otherwise.
Well, they've got interfaces, but yeah, this actually feels like a place, these things notwithstanding. I don't know what this is all about. I guess you could climb up these railings and back.
Oh, I think that's stairways, just going back into the background and coming back. Yeah.
I'm not seeing it, to be honest with you. I'm not seeing it. But hey, you know what? That's fine. I'm sure we're running around in the background there. So we just defeated Arachnus, which is the second time canonically that we have fought that particular monster.
Of course, you also have to consider that there are stairs and Samus is refusing to use them instead of just jumping entire floors of her own power.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is... Okay, I see it now. I see what you're talking about.
I can jump.
I'm finding it hard to believe that she can actually, just skip the fact that there are 3D stairs going on there. Anyways.
Yeah, well, best they could do it. They could probably have done a better job slightly, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways.
Samus is as I feared. The breeding environments have been invaded by the X parasites. Sector 1, SRX, shows several abnormalities in biosensors. Sector 1 is the simulation of the SR-388 biosystem ecosystem. Yeah. To get there, take the main elevator to the access shaft and use elevator 1.
Shaft!
Use a navigation room just inside for further briefing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I think that whoever allowed the X into the environment may also be linked to the early explosion.
Well, that's a possibility in and of itself, isn't it?
Terrorists, maybe? Oh, there's one thing we could check out early.
Important plot point. The SR-388 themed environment. That's an important plot point. Oh yeah, one thing that I'm gonna go ahead and do just for the sake of doing it. I'm gonna see if I can pop into the cold storage lab. Oh no, that's a floor down, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
It's not exactly convenient for me to go back and check. There's a cold storage room, and we can't handle the cold now because we're part Metroid.
Because you lost your suits and everything, of course.
Samus does have a pretty nice smooth run going on here, though, I will say that. It feels a little bit more like a long, loping stride and a little bit less like a scamper like she normally had. Holy moly my god, what's going on here? Hey, that's not me. Ooh. Damn, son.
See, this Samus can't even use doors without destroying them.
Yeah.
It's like Samus 2.0.
Takes after her mommy. Oh boy. So yes, this is the introduction of the sax. No, the SAX. Or I could go epic sax guy. Never mind. But yeah, the SAX, which is a creature that stalks you and haunts you throughout the game, which was very interesting. I think actually that was a special clever touch that they threw in, that something is stalking you. I think they did that in Metroid Prime 2, that dark bitch, right?
Yeah, but I think it was done much more effectively in this game.
Yeah, they've been on a downward slope. Ooh, map.
The main elevator linking to the access shaft has been severely damaged. It'll be totally unusable for some time, unfortunately. Some unknown agent is at work. Something very powerful. certainly not human.
How can you make that assumption?
I'll report when I know more. Now listen closely.
You don't know anything, but you said it's definitely not human. I don't trust you, bot.
The X in Sector 1 have invaded the atmospheric stabilizers. They must want to alter the environment to their needs. They are already reproducing. Clear all 5 atmospheric X stabilizers to stop them. Is your objective clear?
Yes.
Now get moving.
Did he just tell me to fuck off? He just said get moving. He might as well have slapped me on the ass before I went out.
You know, it would have been a total mind break at this point that
What?
they could have done.
What?
Try play a space terrorist kind of angle. Don't necessarily play up the X as being the provocators of all these system failures. They could have started with some terrorists, and then the X kind of sort
Got
of
out
took
of
over from
control.
there. Yeah.
That's a possibility.
This would have added a little bit more mystery to this, but even that, this is still narratively kind of leaps and bounds of what they attempted to do with the old Metroid Fear.
This is also the first Metroid game. Well, maybe not the first, because Metroid 2 didn't do it exactly, but this is the first Metroid game where it's not actually the Space Pirates' fault what's going on here. I mean, it definitely was in Part 1, and Part 2 they did that because the Space Pirates started that. Oh my god, I should not be talking right now. Holy shit. No. Alright, let me get away from the
Space Cold get you?
Yeah, getting away from the giant jelly orb. So this is the first time where it's not a direct result of space pirates fucking around. I mean, that's again in Part 1. Obviously, we were going after Mobro there, you know, Mother Brain, and that was the space pirate leader and all that. And in Part 2, because the space pirates decided to weaponize the Metroids, had to go after them and exterminate them. So that was a result of the space pirates dicking around. And then in game number 3, obviously, it's the return of Ridley. And then in this one, it's nope, no space pirates involved, really.
The space pirates would have tried to weaponize the X.
Oh, I guarantee they would have, but I don't think the X would have stood for that shit.
It would still be a silly idea to do anyways.
Yeah, well, it was kind of a silly idea to try to weaponize the Metroids, but they did it all right. Because as they sort of redid it in Metroid Zero Mission, is that by the time you reach Torian, it's already the Metroids have broken out. That's why you're fighting them in the first place, is because they have turned.
I think they had a pretty solid handle because they did keep them all contained, at least within Torian.
Well, that's the thing, is you come upon them just as the breakout was kind of kicking into gear. Alright, just checking my map here, make sure that I'm on course. Whoop, 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 whoop. I remember you assholes.
I guess a lot of these guys were kind of brought back for the AM2R project there.
Well, I mean, these are enemies that are creatures that were basically just, what's the word? Native to SR388. This is the SR388 zone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty clever, way to do the station, where they got separate zones that have special code names that indicate these are not space pirates, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Although it kind of makes you wonder, why do the X know how to turn into space pirates? Maybe they had some...
actually, I just thought of that exactly. They wouldn't have any...
They might have some space pirate samples on this station.
Actually,
what?
You think the space pirates would have had to come to this planet to extract the Metroids, correct?
Possibly.
So perhaps one or two of them could have held on to those samples in the meantime until they got picked up here.
Possibly, but then they had to resort to some shady ass beta radiation or whatever to reproduce them. But I think maybe it's...
Well, the Metroids, sure, but I'm just talking about the X's getting samples of space part DNA.
That's true. That's true. I mean, the Metroids were created to control the X, so, it's very possible that the X had infected a couple space pirates.
Sake of mentioning, so we're talking about how the Metroids were essentially the controlling force of the X's. I don't think that's actually covered in the game here, but it is within the manual for the game.
Yeah, the Metroids are supposedly, that's why the Metroids were created, is because there was a serious X problem. So, I don't know.
And somehow they gave him the name of Metroid, which in the Chozo language means Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they made their Ultimate Warrior against the X. That's what they needed to make the Ultimate Warrior for.
And incidentally, able to destroy a lot of other things too. Go figure.
Absolutely. If you're gonna go, just go big or go home is the message there, really. It's like, if we're gonna make something and call it the Ultimate Warrior, it might as well be super ultimate. Did the Metroids actually overrun the Chozo? Is that how it happened? I mean, why did the Chozo civilization on SR388 fail?
I'm not sure, Tim. I'm just reading over the story now. I don't think it mentions anything of any sort of... I think it was largely successful, because again, like, they were largely in control and almost a non-issue whenever Samus went there the first time, right? It's
Pretty
only whenever the
much.
Metroids were all gone that they started propagating again.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, what caused the actual Chozo menace, or not the Chozo menace, what caused the Chozo to fail on planet SR388?
Well, I think they got wiped out in general. Like, they were probably hunted down by the space pirates anyways, because they're eliminating all the other planets that they're on.
I suppose. I mean, there's story involved that I'm obviously not aware of. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Should probably take a little bit different of an approach here.
But it's difficult to say because they seem to have colonies like everywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's why you make colonies, is because, you know, you're trying to keep your race in gear. So why
expanding?
So why did they fail on this planet? That's such a fake out. If they hadn't already done that to us in future Metroid or previous Metroid games, you know, that would have been a greater shock. But I think the shock of finding a Chozo statue turn into something that attacks you kind of wore off after the Torizo in Super Metroid.
Well, I think it's more to establish like the familiarity, iconography of the Chozo statue, and essentially illustrate like you're not going to find that stuff here. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna show to you here turns out to be a boss, so you should be looking for that kind of thing. It's all about
it's a troll.
finding the X parasites and the download stations.
Yep. Now this is also the first time that the charge beam has actually changed the look of your regular beam. It's now a little bit wider.
It's
Very
kind of
interesting.
chunky now, actually.
Looks like a W. Looks like a curly brace.
Looks a bit like the Batman logo.
Yeah. Looks like a curly brace, and we're not playing Cave Story right now. But this is a viable game to use the charge beam instead of a missile. And actually, at a certain point, charge beam becomes more powerful than missiles. So, yeah, this is pretty much the only game that I know of in all the Metroid series where the charge beam actually does outdo missiles for the most part. Later on, of course, you got to get some upgrades and enhancements.
Of course, also notice that the beam weapons are kind of shrill in this game, but I think it's more of a factor with the Game Boy Advance's, well, lack of a sound chip.
Yeah, they had to rely on MIDI synthesization.
Dude,
and all
crack in
that.
the wall. Go back. You're not gonna skip that power up.
Oh, there's a crack in the... Oh yeah, sure there is. I don't have bombs yet, bro.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't have bombs? What the hell?
No, I don't have bombs yet. You don't get bombs right the fuck away. Not in this game. Oh wait. Maybe
Hold
some...
on.
Hold on.
I don't recall that being an issue. Missiles?
Oh,
No, that works too.
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing. God damn it.
Well, yeah. So you can either wait for getting the space jump, or you can be a badass and get it now.
Well, I might as well be... See, God. Fuck. It is so much harder to do it in this game.
Well, it's still a lot easier than doing it in Super Metroid.
No, in Super Metroid it's a fucking dream.
I don't know. Wall jumping is always a pain in the ass for me on that one.
See, here's the thing, is that wall jumping is easier for me in those games because you have a little bit more control of your angle. You can turn back to the wall. It is a little bit more split-second hair-precise timing, But, you know, in this, it's not like in this game where it's just a fucking chore, you know? You can only wall jump up certain areas and it be viable.
Yeah. I don't know, I just figure back in the Super Metroid 3, Super Metroid, when they introduced that feature, the corridor where they kind of teach you that, like, they put a save room down there because you know you can be down there for a long-ass time trying to get that to work.
Oh yeah, that is kind of a troll. It's like, can I not go back to a point before this bullshit? No. No. Unlimited power.
Yes, thank you, Palpatine.
Yes. Also, I needed to clear my throat, and that was a handy way to do it. Save room and recharge points at the beginning of every zone. Man, they spoil us. Alright. Robo, talk to us.
Atmospheric stabilizers online, but many X have already made it to the other sectors, it seems. In particular, Sector 2 TRO, the tropical habitat, shows abnormalities. I suspect the X entered this sector with the help of our unseen saboteur. He or it may be linked.
In TRO now.
Yeah. Samus, get over there. We need to put an end to this. Is your objective clear? Start moving. I'll brief you in TRO navigation room.
Okay. Wow, I'm kind of torn here. We're at about 16 minutes, and we just finished up a zone. Zones do not take all that long.
Well, it's kind of a shorter game, actually, but let's just get into the next one. We'll call it a day.
Alright, so, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe we'll make it a 30-minute episode, cover 2 zones in one.
Well, don't know if we'll have time for that.
Oh, we won't, not with this. As I listened to the briefing, my thoughts turned to Adam. The real Adam understood me well. He would end orders by saying, "Any objections, lady?" He knew I didn't disagree. That was just his way of noting our trust. I wonder if I can trust this computer too. I'm so lonely. God, they really take the balls off of Samus with this one here. Seriously, she loses a lot of credibility in my eyes.
The way that she kind of acted while she was part of a military command wasn't entirely professional either.
Right, but that's all fucking retcon shit because of Team Ninja. Boop, 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 boop.
I have learned the identity of our mystery saboteur. Samus is an X-parasite mimicking yourself. I have named it the SAX. I believe the SAX came from the capsule containing your infected suit parts.
Well, don't that just beat all?
It used a power bomb to escape the quarantine bay.
Wow.
That explosion reached the capsules containing all of the X that started this disaster. But the SAS is definitely our biggest worry right now. The SAS is mimicking you at your full power. You can't face it. If you see the SEX, just run. Don't think about fighting. You are still very vulnerable to cold, an unexpected side effect of the Metroid vaccine. Like Metroids, you can be frozen by an ice beam. Of course, the SEX is armed with the ice beam. Stay away. If you see it, just run. HQ says they have bomb data ready in the data room. Bombs will help you find a way out if the SEX traps you. The data room is here, but it is sealed by level 1 hatch. You'll have to find the security room and release the level 1 locks. But per safety protocols, it is not marked on the map.
It's marked in yellow.
You'll have to find it on your own somehow, Samus. So first, find security room and unlock level 1. Hatches, then go to the data room and get to that bomb data. Is your objective clear? Keep an eye out for the SAX.
Okay.
Would it be more security protocol than safety protocol?
I have no fucking clue. Right now, this game already kind of jumped the shark. I guess that's the wrong term for it. It fucked the mule.
I'm not dignifying either of those.
Because, see, when it's doing something that a lot of people have thought of doing, but for the most part people didn't do because it really wasn't a great idea. But they did it anyways because they could. Which is, you know, giving Samus a voice. And giving her a CO. Seriously. Spent 3 entire games, with thinking Samus was just a bounty hunter, that she just made her money off of the bounty of the universe, and then they go retconning in a fucking backstory where she was always a good little Federation gal.
No, I think for her to do as much bounty hunter work as she does, it probably would be good for her to have some history with the military, at least.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the military uses her as a contractor, which that's corporate right there. That shit's capitalism. Hire out to private contractors.
I think it's kind of silly to try to deny the idea of putting a backstory to a character, though. I mean, sometimes, yes, like, learning more about a character can be a detriment. Like, if you look at Raceland Major from Dragonlance, like, he was a character who was generally intriguing, interesting when you didn't know so much about him, but once you learn his backstory, he's a bit of a whiny bitch.
We're getting into Dragonlance on a Metroid game.
Just saying, but,
Just
you know.
saying,
But
yeah.
I still don't think that... I think it's still a worthwhile effort to try to flesh out your world building, like...
One
more timely topic, then.
Alright, I'm gonna give you 3 words that are gonna completely debunk your whole adding a backstory to a character is necessary theory.
Legend necessary.
Legend of Zelda. We don't know dick about Link, and we don't need to.
That's because Nintendo just kind of sucks at telling stories, though. I went there with bells on.
Yeah, now that you say it, it is kind of true. We don't know really too much about Mario. We don't know too much about Link, and I wish we knew less about Samus. Samus is not my waifu anymore. There's nothing in this room, is there? It's completely pointless. Boy, I really don't like what these little jelly bobs become. It's a real pain in the buttocks.
Alright, let's see what we got going on here.
Whoa! That motherfucker right there gets me every single time. Get back here.
Was it just me or was he on fire?
Huh? No, he was electrified.
Yeah.
Alright, so here is where we get da bombs.
So you have like vines and stuff growing with machinery. I mean, like, the maintenance of this area must be a right bitch.
Yeah, maintaining this area can be a pain, but then again, they've probably been keeping it under wraps. But now, as you look at things... Oh, shit. As you look at things, everything's overrun by X-parasites, right? So God knows what's going on down here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look at that machine. Like, well, like, first of all, this base has been down for like a couple hours at the most. So those vines have been growing there for some time.
Right, but see, here's the thing, though, is that the X has taken over the vines. And so they're instigating rapid growth, right?
I suppose that is true.
Of course it's true.
We see evidence of that later on.
They are able to instigate... Hell, they fucking replicated Samus Aran before this shit even happened. Obviously, they're capable of some stuff.
So I don't know if we pointed out the door that got destroyed earlier, so now we have to find our own way out of here.
Yeah, we didn't point that out.
Yeah.
God, the bombs...
Which, to be honest, I actually kind of overlooked entirely the first time I played this game, too.
Yeah, we didn't ask questions, we just went the direction we hadn't come from.
It's like, I got tools, I can play with them now.
Yeah, exactly. We weren't thinking like a person would think in this situation, like, shit, how the fuck do I get out of this station? We were thinking, how do we go and kill some stuff?
Although it did have the effect that as you left the bottom room, that's when the explosion happened and, you know, shook the screen. So at least there was a sign of it actually occurring.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh dear, something happened. Let's see. Okay, now this is a little bit more normal, a little bit less, you know, foliated. And then we're back to this shit.
Well, it's probably like the maintenance hatches and such, or Jeffrey's tubes, as it were.
Oh, you brought up the Jeffrey's tubes. Congratulations, he brought up the Jeffrey's tubes.
What, I've been watching Star Trek lately.
You've been watching Star Trek constantly. Forever.
Well, you know, now that it's on Netflix.
Yeah. There you go, exactly. See, I feel like there's something down here I should be getting, but I don't have a need for anything right now. Ooh. That's a difficult thing to avoid right there. I see that the rising pillars make a comeback. That's a tough one to get around if you don't know what you're doing there.
Confused me for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, do I have to reset the game now?
When a game does that, when it makes you wonder if you need to reset it, that's a bad sign. Now, I'm not saying that that's always the case, because Undertale pulled that shit on us, but when you reset it, they're like, ah, we see what you did there. This game, not so much. They hadn't developed the troll technology yet. Because actually, trolling wasn't really a thing until, like, 2010, wasn't it? Wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, it's whenever, like, a lot of tropes, kind of got set in stone.
Yep.
Video games, really. That's when player has expectations of how things should be going. That's when you can properly, quote-unquote, troll them.
Yep. And we were expecting something like Earthbound from Undertale, let's all be honest about that. There's no shame.
Well, he did list that as one of his primary inspirations.
How could you not? It's so obvious. It's like to the point that nobody even questions why do it. It's like, of course we needed a modern-day Earthbound. And Mother 3 came out way before that.
Which he did cite as his primary inspiration.
You just said that.
Yeah.
Are you high right now? No? You're not high right now?
No.
Hi. Whoop. Hi. Whoop. Hi. Come on, do it again. Pussy. Ah, boss doors. This is a fun boss. Let's fight this fun boss.
I don't think he's very fun at all. What are you talking about?
Ah, he's easy as piss.
Yeah. It's kind of tedious.
I got 4 up in there. Let's see if I can get 5. I got 5. I'm not gonna try for 6. I don't think this boss was ever a challenge for anyone. I mean, look at this ridiculous thing. Oops. Come on, scrape your way along. And
His
now
pattern
come at
attack
me.
is rather obvious.
Just come at me, bro. Come on, I fucking want you to come at me, bro. Yeah, you coming at me? You don't got shit, do you? Guess what? I got your X-Core. High jump and jump ball.
I'm so happy that just decided to combine those power-ups together.
Yeah, it does save quite a bit of headache. Now Samus has a 20-foot vertical.
Yeah. And actually, the first time I played Metroid 2, I completely missed the jump ball entirely.
Yeah, the same here. Went through the entire game without getting the jump ball. Actually, first time I ever did Metroid, Super Metroid, actually, I didn't get the jump ball. I didn't know it existed. I had always wondered, what is that weird little robot thing in that room? But anyways, I want to thank you all for watching. Once again, my name is Alex, also known as Solonus Dracon, and this has been Metroid Fusion. Thank you very much, and goodbye.